Roaring to life on Broadway, King Kong is a beast of a high-tech puppet, 20 feet tall and full of emotions. Now this incredible contribution to the theater world has earned a special Tony Award. Sonny Tilders and the Creature Technology Company out of Melbourne, Australia, will be honored at the Tonys on June 9th for creating the giant animatronic ape who steals the show. But how does the 2,000-pound creature perform 8 times a week at the Broadway Theater? We have the answers. Jacob Williams is here to tell us all about the fascinating theatrics. Jacob is what's called a Kong captain. You are the Kong captain in the Broadway musical. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you, Dana.
So you this is your baby in the sense that you have worked from the beginning with Kong.
Absolutely, yeah. So, and like a baby, it takes a village to raise and perform this amazing creature and puppet 8 times a week.
So here we have, let's just in case there might be some people who are not familiar with the story.
Well, the story is an aspiring actress who's in New York, and she's discovered by Carl Denham, who has discovered a map of this amazing mythology of a creature who lives on Skull Island. They board a ship and they go to discover this creature, and they bring the creature back to New York, to Broadway.
And we see it on the Broadway stage.
That's right.
At the Broadway Theater.
Life is imitating art.
Yes, let's talk about how the audience sees King Kong, first of all, because it's huge, the 20 feet tall, 2,000 pounds. Tell us about that.
Well, the first scene is visceral. So he arrives in Skull Island, and all you hear is his roar and this stampeding of feet. And he arrives in the darkness.
So he's a giant puppet.
That's right.
It takes a village, as you said. What we were seeing there, the puppeteers, how many of them are there, and how do they do what they do?
Well, there are 17 people that bring Kong to life, 10 onstage puppeteers who are called the King's Company of men and women, primarily dancers who we've trained to be puppeteers. Then there were 3 voodoo puppeteers, which is what I am.
Okay.
And we're the animatronics, so we do the facial expressions. There's a picture of us there. We basically, it's like a cockpit of a NASA flight simulator, and we've got joysticks and buttons, and we talk to the King's Company on stage.
That's you on the far right?
That's me on the far end. So I give the cues to the company on stage and link up everything.
So you're up in the balcony?
Yeah, we're up in the back of the theatre in the mezzanine section, and so we get a bird's eye view of the show every night.
You're following a script, obviously, and Kong is a character.
Absolutely.
Should I say Mr. Kong or?
Kong, yeah, Kong, I think.
Kong is a character, and so he makes sounds. Are you and the fellow voodoo operators, are you Kong's voice?
John Hoche is the voodoo operator who is the voice of Kong, and that goes through a computer simulator. So he roars in real time, and then there's a 1/8 of a second delay for the roar to come through the 500 speakers in the house. And they reverberate and shake the seats throughout the Broadway Theatre.
What are you hearing from the audience? I know you're right amongst them.
Yeah, we're hearing gasping, screaming, laughter, you know, people with their hands on their faces in disbelief, not knowing what they're actually looking at. And it asks of a certain suspension of disbelief.
Yes.
Children do it instantly, but an adult will look at that and they'll study it for a while, and they're trying to figure out, why am I feeling emotion to this creature? And at some point you give that away, and you place your imagination on the story as well, and that's the beautiful form of puppetry.
Let's show Sonny Tilders and the Creature Company at work. He's explaining here in this video that we have, and just talking about what Kong is made of and the time that it took to make Kong. You witnessed this, right?
Yeah, so they built 2 prototypes of Kong before they built the final King Kong, which you see now on Broadway. The company, they've been in existence for a long time. They came together to make Walking with Dinosaurs, so a lot of the technology was built then, and they all came from the film industry.
Talk about, Jacob, if you would, like, so, you know, shoulders, eyebrows, mouth, King Kong, because they have a relationship, these two.
One of the
sensitivity that's
right, and if you can see in this picture his eyes, and that's one of the truly amazing things about Sonny's design, was the eyes are just black. So there's no pupil, there's no iris in there, and they reflect the light. And that's what you're looking into, and you actually see a soul through those eyes. And it's so well made, and Danny Miller, who's the puppeteer who controls the face, has been controlling it since day one. He's got a real adept feel for the eyes, and it's just a little blink of the eye, a little cock of the eyebrow, and a sniff of the nose, and you believe he's real. It's really amazing.
Before we wrap up, I just want to talk about just he is a character. He takes a bow, right? He has the final bow.
It's one of the best curtain calls you'll see on Broadway right now, and he's like an actor. So I think for all budding directors out there who find themselves directing a puppet, just approach it like they're an actor.
Learned so much about King Kong, and Jacob Williams joining us here, the Kong Captain. King Kong is at the Broadway Theater. We wish you a great night at the Tony Awards, and you can see the Tony Awards hosted by James Corden Sunday, June 9th on CBS 2 from Radio City Music Hall.